apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Today, there's been another case of reported case of anthrax.
Within a few weeks, 17 more people would be diagnosed with anthrax. 4 more would die.
Within weeks, 5 would be dead and thousands of others exposed to one of the deadliest bacteria known to man.
There are very few people who have the bench skills to make a product this good.
Federal investigators discovered clues to the perpetrator's identity encoded in the bacterium itself.
There are 89 different types of anthrax, but each one has its own kind of trail. This one led directly back to our own defense establishment.
Was the U.S. government hiding a terrorist inside America's biodefense community? Some say yes, and that the official government investigation was a sham.
The only people who know anything about the subject are also the suspects.
They're protecting this individual.
What we're dealing with here is an inside job with a real insider who has secrets that nobody wants to get out. It's going to be too humiliating, too embarrassing.
All the spores were sent for immediate forensic testing. By the 10th of October, the analysis of the spores was complete. The results were horrifying. The bacterium that killed Robert Stevens and eventually infected 7 of his colleagues was identified as the Ames strain, a strain long favored by and under the near total control of the U.S. biodefense program.
This is a very sophisticated device, and it has to have been done by an explosives expert, obviously with this type of explosion.
The reporter said government officials stated the bombing was the work of a sophisticated group. The explosive that went off in the building was a very sophisticated device. It would take an explosive expert to have done that amount of damage. Now, these news reports were all made during the first few hours since the tragedy struck. Given a little time, government spokespeople changed all this. It wasn't a sophisticated group, but rather 2 or 3 men of nondescript skills. Nor was it a very sophisticated device. Why, it was just a mix of fertilizer and ammonia that any old farm boy could put together. And the damage, massive as it was in complete concert with explosives in a car, later a truck, parked out in the street. Say, isn't it funny how a little time changes things?
Plotted multiple simultaneous bombings at 4 metro stations in 2011. The document reveals that he intended to kill as many military personnel as possible. Those same documents indicate the 34-year-old planned to use rolling suitcases to place explosives on trains. Passengers are stunned.
New tonight, when you look at Atlanta's Olympic Centennial Park tonight, you could never tell something horrible happened here. But on July 27th, 1996, what was supposed to be a party to celebrate the Olympics turned to terror. A bomb exploded during a concert, killing 2 people, injuring more than 100 others. One of those killed that night was a Georgia mother.
The shooting started yesterday at 5:20 p.m. A bullet went through a window of this store, narrowly missing a clerk inside. It was the only miss. At 6:04 p.m., a middle-aged white man was killed outside of the supermarket. This morning, the murders resumed. At 7:41 a.m., another white man mowing his lawn. At 8:12 a.m., an Indian man gassing up his cab. Minutes later, at 8:37, an Hispanic woman sitting reading a book on a bench outside of a restaurant.
The young lady that I just seen about 5 minutes or 10 minutes ago off the bus was laying right there, and it was just terrible.
Just over an hour later, at 9:58 a.m., another single bullet, another victim, a woman cleaning her car at a gas station. Altogether, 6 shots, 5 apparently random victims within 16 hours. Police are stunned.